potentially snowball into a big advantage for Han on the Ember Spirit. For me, I'm a little bit concerned on how this Broodmother is going to have impact this game, because I do really feel like not only if they address it in the lane, but the game matchup as well. They've got a lot of good ways to deal with it. So let us see how much value we're truly going to get out of Sheep, because I'm just a bit concerned that he might not be able to provide too much to the game compared to someone like a Beastmaster.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we get out of Chen this time around on the Broodmother. Obviously, Platinum Tears has played a decent amount of it in pubs. I want to see what kind of build they go for as well. Obviously, being universal here, it unleashes quite a lot of different avenues you can go down. And I think it really depends on how the game is going. If you go super brawly early on, you can go into something like an Echo Saber, and then you can go into like an Orchid from there. I've seen from some of the Broodmothers, you kind of just take over a lane, and if anybody comes anywhere near you, you kill them. And then you can make rotations with the spin webs as well a little bit later on. So yeah, it's a little tenuous, especially when I see these offlane Broodmothers, as you said, in comparison to like a Beastmaster, where his impact is going to be felt quite quickly. Just because he's a BM, he's going to win his lane pretty well. Gets a Blink Dagger, gets Helmet of the Overlord, and kind of runs around with his auras and provides vision with the Hawk and the Boar. So there's just a lot more that Beyond can do this game in comparison to what Chen can do outside of just absolutely obliterating the lane, you know?
Yeah, Chen just might feed the Storm, and if you feed this guy this game, you're going to have a Pugna to further enable him as well, which could be very, very scary. Like, it's not a free Storm game, but it definitely is a mighty good one, though. Their guaranteed catch is a little bit difficult. I don't know if they're... Like, oh man, yours is such a meh item. I was going to say, like, maybe Sheep can go for it because it's pretty much guaranteed setup then against the Storm, like into the Bramble. But then you don't go like some other utility items that we see very often on the Dark Willow. So it's a lot of it's to how they're able to execute. You know, if Han can catch him out the first time with Searing Chains, then they don't really have any, at least, ways to purge that off. But I think both mid laners could be the X factor this game. Like, I see a lot of value with the Ember, a lot of value with the Storm Spirit as well.
Yeah, I think both these spirits kind of have the work cut out for them in this game about what they need to do and how they need to put the teams on the back. And I think the Yules is not a bad shout, but I definitely think this is a pretty great BKB game for 7E. So it's probably going to be a pickup that he's going to get relatively early in this game. I've seen a lot of Storm Spirits go for like the 3 early items like Falcon Blade, Witch Blade, and what's the third one? I don't know, something else. And just kind of have these small little stat items and then go into like a BKB, and especially when you have a Pugna behind you, is going to be your mana battery. So don't need to build into those Kai's and all that kind of stuff for yourself. And that early BKB can potentially be a bit game-breaking for Supernova, because outside of that, like, what do they really do against the Storm? Kind of wait until he runs out of mana and hopefully you can just right-click him down?
Yeah, and he's not going to run out of mana. That's just... It's not happening. So, yeah, let's see. I mean, a lot of it, again, comes down to the lane, which is a lane that is very player-dependent on how they're able to execute. So it's just going to be nice to see the individual skill battle between 7E along with Han. So we've spoken a lot about top lane and how we're expecting that one to go. We have to keep an eye on, importantly, if Team Zero are able to truly get as much strength as they possibly can out of this setup, because they should be favored. But what about bottom, though? With the Beastmaster Pugna into the Morphling along with the Snapfire, what are we expecting out of this?
I think Chola can do a pretty good job on the Snapfire at securing the Morphling's lane, right? Like, she's very beefy, she has a lot of magic damage early, can deal with the boars, can get on top of Pugna with things like the cookie. So I think this lane should be pretty okay for the Morphling. I don't think Dong should have too many issues. He does have to be very, very careful about just like a random Nether Blast that could catch him out if he is going to be low mana. But if Chola does his job and keeps Ice away from the lane and just allows this to be a pure 1v1 for the Morphling, he can, you know, just toggle the attribute shift, play around his regen, and not have to worry about just kind of being blown up by a Beastmaster, because it is very slow, and you can see it coming when it comes with the axes. So as long as Dong doesn't misplay, he should be okay in this lane.
Oh, we already see how fun top's going to be. No last hits for Chen. Don't you love an Undying pick? Yes, very cool hero. Being able to 1v2 the lane. That is awesome.
ZZQ has also been one of the standout POS 5 players that I've seen in all these games. There was a game where he played a Venomancer 5 and basically did this exact same thing. I can't remember what the lane he was playing against, but he 1v2'd as a POS 5 Venomancer, and CTY got the freest game of his life. And ZZQ just kind of snowballed out of control. I think he ended at like 7-0 and 13 or something. And it was a really freakish performance. And he's always been a standout for me every time I look at Team Zero, has been ZZQ and how well he secured CTY's lane.
Yeah, well, that's scary, because if you give CTY a free game, we know from a past experience with this man on teams like eHome what he's able to do with a game like that. So have to be very, very cautious. Mid lane, a lot of back and forth. Han takes multiple tower hits. Forced to activate the Fairy Fire as soon as the Overload was a potential for 7E to maybe chase him down.
That was really, like, 7E, like, played that fine line because the Flame Guard was still running from Han.
This is very deep. Tombstone, Blood Grenade. Love a good old Illusions just running at you as well. And now Chen can't even play this lane too, with the Tombstone going to be up for another 15 seconds. So I have to use another web and fly on over.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, I mean, it doesn't really matter now, but Chen started without Spin Web. He started Silken Bowler level 1, which I thought was interesting. It does a lot of damage, to be fair, 24-second cooldown, but I think for me, like when you're playing up against like an Undying like this, just having the extra move speed with the Spin Web was going to be enough for you to just duck in and out of the trees and maybe just like snipe a last hit hero there, whereas now he's very far behind when it comes to the experience against CTY.
Ooh, 70? Oh no! Does he have a movement speed advantage? No, he doesn't. So Han was eventually going to catch up to him. And now he's going to be able to shove the lane in as well. So Storm will miss some valuable creeps once he's in the grave.
Yeah, Han, open it up. After that first engagement, I saw that Han was just wave managing a little bit better than what 7E has been. So if Han's able to put a kind of smackdown on 7E, who has been a player that Team Zero like to play through quite a lot. CTY is generally sitting back, playing these hardcore kind of carries, not really getting involved all too much, and 7E has been the player that they really kind of play around. You start to pull this Storm Spirit back and make his lane a little bit harder than what it already has been, then Han can take a stranglehold of this game in the first 10 minutes.
Even his support's kind of helping out with rotating, getting the rune. I mean, he was full bottle because of the death, but he's doing whatever they can. It is still, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to help Chen top, honestly. So maybe bottom lane, we could see some kills as Chola almost bring down Ice. The Blood Grenade should tick him out though. So nicely done. Nova mid looking good, bottom looking even better as well.
Oh, Han, so close getting another solo kill there on 7E, but he had 2 bottle charges, so he's back to healthy. And this is what I was talking about with if Chola's able to really bully out the Pugner. I think the Snapfire is one of the good heroes.
God.
There's
no. Yeah, there is a way. There is. This man came through the rift, decayed him from afar, and just nuked him.
See, this is ZZQ. He's done this multiple times. He did this in that Venomancer game as well. Absolutely owns top lane for CTY. He goes through the twin gate, goes bottom, kills the carry, goes back top. Says, CTY, you good, brother? And he goes, yeah, and then he leaves again.
He's not good. CTY is not... CTY is good. And he TP top, so now don't... What?
Oh, no way.
What? He got blown up. That was like an Axe, Decay, and a Nether Blast all at one. And my guy's health was not high enough. Mid lane, maybe? All right, let's see. Oh, nice Vortex timing. Has some stick charges to work with. Not going to matter, though. Far out. That was a great attempt from 7E. Even though they get the kill, I love that movement from Supernova. Your bottom's not going well. You also don't get the kill into Naga top lane, but you rotate mid lane, try and at least help out Han, who's off to a great start, and you will be rewarded for that attempt.
Yeah, Han just being able to win the battle in the mid lane and get towards level 6 before 7E has been able to, and obviously helped out by a rotation from his supports. And 7E, unfortunately, hasn't had the best start right now on his Storm Spirit, but the rest of his lanes are doing well. That was smart from Supernova, going to their one lane that is doing really well for them to try and get to a bit of something back in this early game.
Would you like to see them continue to leave CTY alone, though? Because it does look like once Undying is left, even though he's gotten so much out of leaving the lane, they got those 2 kills in the bottom tower, but your Brood is starting to be able to actually even bully out CTY with the help of the Willow.
Yeah, I think usually this lane goes very Naga favored until the Broodmother does get that level 6. So Han denied a Wisdom Rune with an Illusion. Oh, man. Okay, that's really annoying for Team Zero. So the fact that Brood really starts to take over this lane at level 6 is CTY is probably just going to try and get as much experience out of the lane as possible. And if he still has his EQ there, then maybe he might not be level 5, you know, getting close towards level 6 where he can just kind of solo jungle for a long time. So I don't hate it. I really would like Supernova to at least confirm a kill on the CTY before he goes full jungle mode.
Potentially now they can get that kill. They're going to put all their attention onto ZZQ though, but now with Han nearby, he'll be able to provide that extra damage they were missing. So they'll chase CTY down behind the tower. One more slight. It's only level 1, so it's a very long cooldown. There's no way he lives, and there indeed is no way.
I mean, he juked a long time, like a long time. That was getting scary. I was like, there's no way that he's going to juke. He dodged out the scatter blast, and I was like, oh, this is not looking good, boys. But they confirm it, so all things aren't dire just yet. And I think this is definitely going to signal CTY to head to the jungle. Can't really contest the level 6 Broodmother. She's just going to take her tower relatively fast, and all it takes is, as we saw, is a slight rotation from some of these other heroes, and she's spider food.
I wonder what the priority is going to be for them with this top lane now. Like, does Beyond send a couple of Hawks up top? Do you maybe try and use the wards instead? Because you need to slow Chen down. He's second net worth, man. That should not be possible with the lane counter that they had. So the fact that Chen is as rich as what he is, and now he has just so many camps to be able to free farm. So we spoke about in the draft, though, with Vision, there will always be kill potential thanks to the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I definitely think they should try and kick him out at least once. He hasn't died this game.
Poor Beyond. Oh, it was another one that was having a pretty good start, but now Dong's going to be able to get some revenge.
Yeah, I think they should try and make a rotation with a few of their heroes. The unfortunate thing for them is I think they just have to walk up there and roar him. There's no real other stuns that they have. It's not like they have a Bramble Maze or a Cookie that can kind of just randomly set up for stuff. But, I mean, Beyond's just really not in the position right now where he has enough farm to sit top by himself. 7E is here to try something, but this is the issue with Broodmother. It's so hard to actually pinpoint where she is. Her spiders give her vision all the time. She's constantly just farming out these creep camps and will always put herself in a position that is hard to kill.
Good position for the Willow as well. So able to step back to her side of the map. This is a really heavy commitment, but with the double damage rune, 7E doesn't have too much to fear currently. Han's got no backup as well, so this has got a Remnant already ready to go. But that kill is going to get them a little bit closer towards the level 6 for Ice along with ZZQ.
Yeah, they really want to try and get their supports as much experience as possible, considering one of the Wisdom runes did get denied. The other one was picked up by Sheep. So it's not like they're scorching ahead like we saw in our first series of the night, but they are starting to lack a little bit. At least Izuku gets his level 6 now, so they can Flesh Golem and try and fight somebody, but they have to try and connect with the Raw, or maybe they try and connect with 7E, but level 1 Electric Vortex, it's really not that long of a duration for you to try and get some of these kills.
Oh, it is not. And they've even CTY is vacated away from that top side of the map, so looks like Ice Ice going to try and look to do his best just to soak some of experience. Meanwhile, mid lane, Han has got the artillery to be able to protect him. Wasn't ready for the roar though, and well, with the Beastmaster nearby, that's what you were mentioning. We were speaking about it with the Broodmother, where they needed that extra little bit of control, but of course that will come into a play versus the Ember Spirit as well whenever there is an engagement.
Yep. Maybe expecting Beyond to be in a different part of the map, but Roar underneath the tower, too good to be able to get the kill. I just would like to see them try and shore up this top side of the map a little bit more. I think they've done a pretty good job with Ice Ice at least holding this tower so they don't lose the T2 tower before like the 15-minute mark, but they definitely are losing a lot of their gold on the map, and you can see CTY has kind of taken the bullet for them and has really put himself towards this bottom side. He's kind of clearing out everything around the Radiant outpost. He's doing a lot with the hard camps and the small camps here, and they've backed that up with a bit of vision as well to try and keep CTY safe. But if they're just giving this amount of space and this amount of time to Chen, I mean, he's almost got Echo Saber. He's like 70 gold away from Echo, and then how you're really supposed to kill a Broodmother is like, what, gonna have like 1500 plus HP when she's on strength treads, and can't go anywhere near her because you don't really have the greatest of clear for the spiders instantaneously, and you can already see what happens with Ice Ice. He was in a little trouble.
They do want a more valuable kill though. You see Han and Sheep are super hesitant. They keep running back and forth, maybe hoping somehow Chen can just solo kill Ice Ice. They have used this smoke time to drop some wards down inside the jungle. They're not even going to show though. Maybe just reading that there could be potential movement of zeros from their own to top lane, but so they won't even get a freebie as a result in the end.
Yeah, I thought maybe after the committal they would just go underneath the tower, that they would just be like, hey, we've committed a smoke, let's just kill him, and then we can probably get the tier 2 tower off of that. And then you can start bringing and connecting with your Broodmother, who's starting to hit her first item timing, and take these tier 1 towers and really close out the map for Beyond, because at the end of the day, they still have a Naga and a Storm, so both of those two heroes need a lot of gold.
Oh, 7E, speaking of the Storm, going to be in some danger. They need the extra control to set up for the remaining globs, and so Han's able to come into play. Beautifully done, and great use of this observer ward that was just freshly planted, and now all of a sudden you got Chen as well that's going to be able to show up. They'll deal with the tombstone and now jump over the top and also find another casualty on the side of Team Zero. But look at this, Ice Ice just poked his head out of the tree line, and that's another one that's going to be fed to the wolves.
Yeah, Ice Ice just saying what's up, guys, and unfortunately he pays with his life. So they're putting this pressure back on a CTY now as well. Does not have the Song of the Siren. Maybe Han's gone a little bit too deep. Yeah, that was probably not. Oh!
No way. He did indeed.
All right, that actually turns worth for Han there, being able to get that kill on a CTY. I thought maybe he was going to bite off a little bit more than he could chew, but taking the Naga Siren with him, again, just closes down the map. Naga Siren isn't able to deep push some of these lanes. She's able to take advantage of some of the space that had freed up on the top side of the map, and they are just being corralled like towards their ancient triangle, and they're just not able to do much. Like look at their vision. The vision is very defensive. They did have that one good offensive ward completely cleared out, and they're going to try and take back some space with a smoke, but Chola nonchalantly just breaks the smoke, walks away.
Yeah, I'm really trying to work out what actually went wrong with this Broodmother. I wonder if they needed to, like, it sounds weird, but I wonder if CTY or Beyond needed to be in these smokes. Because like you were saying, if Storm finds him, that's good and all, but who's going to follow up with the stun? So maybe it was either like, oh, Storm Spirit, but we saw what they were able to get out of this ward prior, and they're going to get another kill.
Oh, and they killed the ulti orb. That was most of CTY's Manta. I don't know if he had the recipe. No, he doesn't have the recipe, but they killed his ultimate orb. So Manta style is now being delayed by 2 minutes, which again is just big, because CTY not having Manta style means that he isn't able to accelerate that far. And Supernova are just doing a really, really good job at playing around their vision. As you said, like this nice little ward on the high ground. Very obvious that, you know, it being planted there, but it's just worked out for them. You get 2 kills out of it. You don't care if it gets dewarded now. It's already paid for itself plus some, especially because they were both kills on 7E.
who was, had a pretty decent start to the game, even with that previous death. Well, the death inside the lane, but now he's really starting to fall behind. He's going for the Kyron Sunge, but yeah, lowest net worth out of all the cores.
Yeah, it's never good when your Storm Spirit is that low, right? Because then you don't really have that solo kill threat that you like to try and play around with a Storm Spirit. You have to commit a lot more resources to enable him to get some of these kills, and you can just see that the snowball is starting to pick up a bit of pace from Supernova. This 4-man is going to be hard to deal with. Let's be careful not to walk directly into like a Tombstone plus a Roar and lose a big core. Especially if it goes to like 7E or CTY. It's a lot of gold they can give away.
We haven't really seen, like, this Pugna Storm at this stage of the game they should be hunting. This is a duo that we see is very, very strong with the gas tank, being able to always be filled up to the brim. So, I mean, this is just, I guess partly a lot of it is because, I mean, top lane, you've taken a tier 2 town, the wave is at the front of their tier 3, mid as well as at the front of their tier 2. So it makes it very difficult for you to be proactive. Like, finally they're going to be forced to do so, because if they don't, I mean, Roche will be given up for free, which is a very early attempt from Supernova.
Yeah, not really the heroes that you naturally see taking Roche so early, but as you said, because it is such an early attempt, it is relatively easy because they have they have a medallion that's kind of coming up.
Karma.
Do they have a medallion? No, they don't.
Oh, they should know. Watch it gets claimed. They've got a pretty good ward up on the high ground, so Han's going to be able to react in time. He's in some danger, though. First stun is there, but there's going to be no follow-up. Now, Dong's going to feel required to show up to the team fight. Morphling will look to play around with the Undying Replicate, drops his own Tombstone to work with. They get too much value out of it, though. An instant buyback out of Chola. They know how important this team fight's going to be for the status of the game, but Dong, he gets shank controlled. Maybe that can enable Han, though, on the Ember Spirit. We'll see what he's going to be able to do. Even a buyback out of a second support as well, but Dark Willow will have no value as everyone else, they're just dying before the reinforcements are able to show back up.
They spotted Chen going north. Not sure if they're able to find him. They're going to be songing on the bottom side for CTY, but nobody is there to help him.
Did they get Chen? 70's Hunt. Oh, he's going to see him. Oh, no way.
Just
so
missed.
Close. And the Hawk was a bit too late. All right, I mean, that's such a heavy investment, though. Morphling was fun. Like, Supernova felt like they'd be able to take Roche without the Morphling if Team Zero didn't react. So he was away from the team before the initial fight. So then he's forced to come in and stop his farming. You get the buyback out of the Snap fight, buyback out of the Dark Willow. And did anyone die on Dial?
I don't think so. No.
Wow.
So, yeah, as you said, huge investment from Supernova, and it was a ballsy play. Like, if that works out, you get like, maybe you get an Aegis on Han early on and you can just constantly keep pushing this threat forward, but they lost big cores, man. If they also lost the Broodmother there, like, this network swing could have been so much worse. Chola, this is a dieback too.
That is true. 60 seconds without him. They got a glimpse of the Broodmother as well. Need to top up the tank of 70. In fact, just with the Helm of the Overlord, they're going to beat into the tower instead. So who cares about the kills? I mean, meanwhile, CTY is just free farming on the opposite side of the map. And she's got Orchid now. So she will be a lot of threat. She's going to run into Chen. Or who's running into who, actually? It's ready to have a little bit more heroes nearby. People are starting to TP back. It's going to be a long zip in from 7E. Unfortunately, Ember's just going to have to force descent on the outskirts. Might even be in some danger as well. It's going to depend if they can get the Roar and beyond. Just is in range on the high ground. Cliff, really nicely done.
Our one was from downtown. That's probably the longest range Roar I've seen in a long time. But I mean, this is why you can't count out these teams like Team Zero, right? Like, you just look across the names, you look across their coaching staff. Like, they have TI winners that are floating in there. They've got old legends. They've got new legends as well that are coming through the ranks. And yeah, this team looks really, really good when they're on their day. Fortunately, one of their losses was a bit of a tough one to swallow, but whether they're playing right now to be able to come back from this puts them in the driver's seat themselves. Because the question is, that we kind of pose is like, how do you deal with this Broodmother? Well, we've seen some issues with it right now, but the question is now for Supernova, how do they deal with the Naga Siren? Like, how do you deal with a farmed Naga? Is it just Ember that has to do it for you?
Or maybe this fight, that could be where they stand strong and turn this game back around. Storm is about to feed over his first life. Get that final little bit of damage. Han's hunting, maybe even considering about remnanting forward. Would have to go into the full 5-man of Team Zero, and he'll think otherwise.
That's right. Petrol Station's here to be able to fill you back up, buddy. So now he's back to full HP, full mana from the Pugna, and it's go time again.
Ooh. Gotta be... Oh, we went in for it. Oh, dude, that's so greedy, 7E! Oh, no, no, no. What do they got now for him? Is it Bramble ready to set up? They've already laid it down, so 7E won't spawn back on top of a stun, but they still had 2 minutes left on the Aegis, so it does go to a bit of a waste.
They at least get, like, what? They get a tier 1 or tier 2 out of it. They get themselves some kills. They would have loved to have gotten themselves an extra core kill after that first kill in the mid lane from CTY. I thought that was going to really snowball for them, but 7E was testing his limits just a little bit. And he had an Aegis, so at the end of the day, it's not the worst. CTY, again, still just sitting back farming. Almost got a Lincoln Sphere, so I guess he doesn't have to worry about Morphling Ags once that does come out, and Dong is relatively close to it. Surprised he hasn't gone for a Lincoln Sphere himself on Dong. I thought this would be a fantastic Lincoln's game to play against Orchid, to play against Storm Vortex, to play against Raw, but didn't want it, it seems. Wants to go in for the Ags, and they are lacking the presence of Dong at the moment, whereas CTY has started to get a little bit involved.
Even just, at least, like, we see the difference in position from CTY. It's not like cowering inside his own territory. He is being more aggressive with his posturing, being able to send out illusions to cut the waves, which is just corralling Supernova and deep in their own territory, so they can't really make any counterplays for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's a very tough spot, especially after losing his courier that was going to get the final component of his Aghanim Scepter. He's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. He's going to have to do it natty, walk up there himself. BKB up now in Han, so looks like this is the opportunity for Supernova to see if they can get a team fight going their way. 7E is very close to his as well. All right. A lot of watcher stealing, it seems.
Ooh. Give me fights. Oh, CTY.
Okay.
Maybe it's a fight. Do they want to try and force out the BKB? Han will get it off for the last second. It's a good bait because they got the Terrorize as well, but the Raw covers 7E. He's going to be able to react in time. Han's BKB is about to expire, so he's going to play cautiously. Meanwhile, CTY, Song's on 3. What do they want to do with the information? Who's the target? Looks like Broodmother's the call, but the Manta gets out of the ensnare. It's not going to matter because 7E... It will be a 1-for-1 with the exchange of offlaners, but 7E still has plenty of mana to work with. Yules will be the only thing in his way to potentially get another kill, but over to the right side, Dong, he's still making quick work of some of the supports as well. Turns back into the Beastmaster, but he wasn't expecting that Orchid. There's at least able to get the attribute shift, but it will not matter once the Naga surrounds Dong. He's in danger, and CTY can start to clean up as well. Han, he's going to be pretty cautious, man. ZZQ isn't dead just yet. A big holy rocket stick. They'll finally get the kill, but it comes at such a grave cost that in the end, it is well and truly not worth it for Supernova.
Yeah, losing 3 of their cores is probably not what you want to see. They at least get 2 of the supports and 1 of the cores is a trade, but CTY and 7E surviving is never what you want. There's a lot of gold in the pockets of their supports. There's a decent amount of gold that went towards Dong, but him losing his life is not what you want to see if you are a Supernova fan right now. And this game is really starting to get to the point of having some issues dealing with CTY as well as 7E, right? Like, see what happens when they're able to catch out the Storm with like a nice little Terrorize. There's always going to be the follow-up from Beyond with the Raw. And they're just having issues keeping up with these Spirit Heroes. And yeah, same thing is kind of similar for Team Zero if they don't just get like a big kill onto the Ember Spirit through the Raw. But they're just much further ahead when it comes to the net worth. Like this Naga Siren is now sitting at 18k in comparison to Dong, who's only at 14k. And CTY is just able to freely move through the fights and flex that extra item that Dong just doesn't have just yet. He can get there. He can be scary. I believe that was a fight without the Ags as well.
Nice eyes. Might be able to get the Pugner, at least a rebuttal for the Ember Spirit going down. But 70 was able to get a nice kill onto the Ember Spirit. That's about 35 seconds where they've got a window here to potentially do something across the map. Maybe they're just going to continue to play just a zoney game in a way. Have the map control, continue to build up your net worth lead, and wait for the potential of that next Roshan to be up.
Yeah, they've got a Naga Siren and a Beastmaster, right? So they can really control like 1.5 lanes each, which is the scary part. And then you've always got 7E who can kind of hunt from the side lanes and hopefully catch maybe Han or even Dong in a position of vulnerability. And yeah, this is definitely just going to turn into a slow, methodical chokeout from Team Zero. They've still got a little bit until Roche respawns, another 2 minutes until the big man's up. And by that time, like what, CTY has just picked up a heart. He's going to have one more item to go before he's almost 5-slotted. I don't count boots when I talk about slots. And he's going to get to a very scary point where, you know, heart plus... I mean, what does he even really need to go? Bloodthorn +1?
Maybe these kills are going to get them closer towards there. Just a freebie onto Chol. They're playing a little bit too far in the front line is the Snapfire. And CT will consider about sewing it. Will do so now. Just so actually does get the connection onto the backline. So 70's going to set up. Who's the target priority going to be? Looks like for the man to already use for the Broodmother, there's going to be no escape. Another turn to Han next as well. Of course, he does have that capability to escape. Even consider about poking his head back onto the high ground. Is this a fight you really can take 3v5?
God, no. I really don't think that there's much that they can do here. They need to try and get out Mr. Dong. They do. So it's just such a hard fight for them to keep committing when they're having to use Manta Styles and all that kind of stuff just to try and get themselves into a fight. Maybe with BKBs up and available, they're going to look a little stronger. Chenny is getting close to his, but still, you're not getting these damage items that you need to try and kill this big, beefy Naga Siren. It's probably at the point now where you're definitely just looking at killing 7E and beyond and the rest of the gang before you even start to think about CTY.
Which is a bit of a yikers to me, because when are you going to start to consider about dealing with this CTY? Because this Naga Siren is a big, big boy.
He's heading toward the Hex as well. Like, they already have a lot of control, and Han, he's got no BKB.
Triple S suck, yeah. Okay, nice. Spreading the love. Beyond is... CTY? Just gets killed off on the Storm Spirit and the Naga. So, alright. They find a freebie. Now they can join the boys, and it's just time and space until the cores show up, and now the Morphlings in danger as well. They go one by one to the Nova cores. They won't get the Morphling, but they'll be able to catch up to this pesky Broodmother, who is looking like she was going to be such a nuisance this game, but the first 15 minutes were incredible for her, but ever since then, it has been all down here and a steep climb down at that.
Yeah. Bottom side, they set up on Han with the Song of the Siren from CTY, got himself nice and behind the Ember Spirit, and there was just a simple little TP from 7E. And the fact that they just clean up that Ember Spirit, everything else just looks so clean and easy. And this is the issue with Broodmother, and this is the reason why people start picking this Naga Siren and Snare is very, very annoying for her to deal with because it's so long duration. It's 5 seconds at max duration, which is nuts when you think about it. Obviously, she has to use the Meta to get out of it, but then if you're ever able to get anywhere close with the Storm Spirit, she will just die, and that is one of her issues, is people getting on top of her and stun locking her. Dong? Let's be careful. Roche did change positions, and now he's running outside of the pit. Oh, I thought he was going to get beyond a little clap. Very, very important fight here, and It is kind of favored towards Supernova. Obviously, they are the Radiant side, so they're going to be able to play around the outpost, but Chen needs to make sure that he sets up with his webs.
It's a good jump.
Oh,
that's a great jump with the Vortex onto 2. Chen's going to be able to turn and get a little bit of life still back, but he is surviving on a slither of health, and he will not continue to do so for much longer. And now instantly CTY as well is there to protect 7E. It is a bit of a wasted BKB, but it really will not matter. They are so far ahead that it sets up for a triple Vortex. There is just, it seems like no angle back in. This game was looking mighty grim for a decent chunk of time, but just the raw experience and talent from Team Zero has seemed to get them over the line in the end.
Yeah, I think they've really understood their target priority in a lot of these early fights to be able to get themselves back into this game. They understood that if they just get 7E some of these extra pickoffs and something like a Broodmother, then that network slingshot will be able to rocket him into such a good position where the Storm Spirit is having a free time. Like, that rush absolutely melted, but they just went straight in, and that was... I always enjoy seeing teams that just go. Like, they just get a glimpse of somebody and they just go in and they get rewarded for it. They instantly get the kill there onto Chen. They turn it back around. The Song of the Siren was max duration purely to make sure that the Morphling had no more strength to strength morph into. So you kind of know what HP pools you're playing around with, and that's kind of the annoying thing with Morph as he plays around his attribute shift a little bit.
Oh, the jump.
They just clean him up.
It could be the jump to finish the game. Chen, he's got no buyback. Chola does at least. We're going to be doing this with a numbers disadvantage.
All a little too hard, I think. How do they kill Storm Spirit? How do they kill a Naga Siren? How are they supposed to approach these team fights when they don't have like Blink Raw like the side of Team Zero do? They're just going to lose their base. Han's going to try his best with a bit of a creep wave push, but CTY already has the illusions doing the job of cutting the creep wave. And yeah, this has just been a masterclass from Team Zero. I've seen this a decent amount in 2 or 3. A lot of these top tier teams be able to come back from bad lanes. And they do it again here to Team Zero.
Well, where's the Storm? They don't even need him. It's just a song into Hex. 70 will be able to follow up at the last seconds. Somehow Dung lives on a slither of health, but do they want to dive? Nah, come on. Where's the fun in that?
Respectful. These are old school players you've got to remember here, Aries. They're not about the new Fangdangle fountain diving, right?
I don't know. It looks like 70. Oops, wait, what the heck? Stolen Vortex onto 3? Okay, didn't matter. Dung died straight away. And yeah, got another nice little bit of a route, but dude, if you're not going to go on the fountain, they'll just come out and continue to feed the lives away. So, no, all right, they will pay some respect. You are right. This is some old-fashioned respect from Team Zero, but if they keep running down, they're happy to take the kills and they're happy to take the...